Now to the bushfire crisis gripping our southern states. There's a major emergency in South Australia where it's feared dozens of homes have been lost. The out-of-control bushfire is tearing through the Adelaide Hills in conditions not experienced in the state since the 1983 Ash Wednesday disaster. Meanwhile, in Victoria, late this afternoon, a grass fire just south of Melbourne flared out of control. Already weary crews in both states are preparing to work through the night to protect lives and properties under threat.
On a hot, windy January day, there are few sights scarier than this. Fuelled by dry, brittle bush, fanned by 110km/h winds, this was a fire that couldn't be stopped and didn't discriminate.
We are losing properties. We don't know exactly how many properties have been lost.
As flames licked closer to schools and consumed sheds and houses, South Australia's fire chief said his worst fears were realised.
Residents in the Adelaide Hills are being confronted by a fire which hasn't been seen in the hills since the 1983 bushfires of Ash Wednesday.
With no way to fight the fire, emergency crews concentrated on protecting lives. The blaze had changed direction last night, catching people and properties unawares. Today, the warning came early.
We are dealing with an incredibly dangerous fire. Your life is at risk.
6 firefighters paid the price of putting their lives on the line, treated for injuries like smoke inhalation. Desperate residents left their homes and gathered at community centres, craving information after the Country Fire Service website crashed. But there was little comfort on offer from authorities.
There is not a fire service anywhere in the world that could put this fire out at the moment.
South Australia faced this Ash Wednesday repeat on little sleep. Properties at Samson Flat have been under attack since yesterday.
It only took about 30 seconds to go from the bottom of Mount Gawler right up the top. It was so bloody fast, you know.
Barry Kirk lost his farm, 200 sheep, vintage cars, and worse, he believes a neighbour using an incinerator was to blame.
I do believe we know the guy that created it all. I hope he's got a pretty good insurance company.
In nearby Kersbrook, they evacuated animals and set about defending their homes.
It's scary now. It's probably going to get worse tomorrow when it's all black.
As always, in times of need, neighbours became comrades in the war against nature's will.
Yeah, we're just taking advantage of the fact we could have a swim and got roped into being firefighters.
As the fire roars on, the property losses keep mounting.
Everything. Life savings, all your mementos and so on.
While they band together against their common enemy for now, it's clear there will be harsh questions to come when this is all over.
And I think the CFS has got a lot to answer for, and so has the South Australian Government and the way it's been handled.
Across the border in Victoria, more than 300 fires reported. An emergency warning called for this blaze at Hastings on the outskirts of Melbourne. Aerial water bombers fighting from above as the large fire threatened properties. For most of the day, it was moist and near Ararat in the firefighters' sights. The wind, though, was their master. One home was lost before the cool change and rain crept in. No one, though, thinks this is over yet.
It's going to be a long, hard summer for a few of us.
Jane Azzopardi, 9 News.
Let's go to reporter Ben Avery now, who's at Williamstown in the Adelaide Hills. Ben, there's been some rain, I understand, there this afternoon. Has that helped the situation?
Well, Georgie, only slightly, because the rain has also come with lightning strikes and some erratic winds which have fanned this fire out in all directions, and it is still threatening a number of towns, including where I am here in Williamstown. And the Premier, Jay Weatherill, said this afternoon we should feel no relief from these changing conditions because this is still an emergency situation. There are still more than 500 firefighters on the fire ground and they are in for a long night. Georgie?
Our thoughts are with them, Ben. Thank you for the update. The situation is so severe. New South Wales is sending a team of firefighters to South Australia. Reporter Mike Dalton is at Sydney Airport. And Mike, what exactly will the RFS volunteers be doing there?
Well, Georgie, the New South Wales Rural Fire Service has been very quick to react to the plight of their colleagues in South Australia and Victoria. 100 personnel are already on their way to South Australia. Their flight left from Sydney Airport about a half hour ago with the blessing of Acting Premier Troy Grant. Now, another 200 personnel are standing by for deployment in Victoria, plus 35 specialists, experts in logistics and management, and they've been drawn from the Rural Fire Service, but also too from the National Parks and Wildlife Service, as well as Fire and Rescue New South Wales. Now, Rural Fire Service Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons was at the airport this afternoon to farewell his troops, and he updated us on their situation.
The camaraderie right across Australia is very strong, and our members have put their hands up very quickly to say, yes, we'll help, and we'll help in large numbers if that's what they require.
There are 7 aircraft already deployed in Victoria, fixed-wing water bombers and helicopters, while another 4 aircraft are on their way to South Australia. At this stage, there are no significant fires in New South Wales. Georgie?
All right, Mike. Thank you.